Now it's time for StoryBoard, the show where you are the head writer. And now here's your host, Mr. Steve.
Hello and welcome to StoryBoard with Mr. Steve. Unfortunately, Mr. Steve could not be here today due to the fact that he's in the process of appealing the judge's decision regarding his custody battle. So Mr. Steve, our thoughts and our prayers are with you and the majority of your family, so good luck. We're thinking about you. Also, Mr. Steve's usual replacement, Mr. Adelberg, could also not be here today because he was called in as a character witness on Mr. Steve's behalf. So as the last second replacement, you're stuck with me, Mr. Franklin, but I think I should have everything under control. No need to worry. I should let you know up front that I am not a certified teacher, so hopefully that doesn't bother any of the viewers at home. But I don't really want to yap any longer. I want to just get right to the show. But before we can get to the show, I need to give you a little recap of how StoryBoard works. Basically, StoryBoard is an experiment in collaborative storytelling. So basically, you, the audience, are going to work with me, the host, to try and formulate a short story on our dry erase board. But before we can even do that, I need to decide what today's theme is. Let me write it on the board for you. Today's theme is Desperation. Hopefully you can read that at home. Now, desperation. What do you think of when you think of desperation? Before you can really start to write, you need to kind of get into a mental zone and just meditate on how that makes you feel as a person. You know, has there ever been a point in your life where you've just wanted something or needed something so much that you would do anything to get it or to attain it? That's a good starting point. So while you kind of simmer on that, marinate on that, I'm going to write today's first sentence. And then once I have the sentence up, all the rest of the sentences are going to be provided by you, the viewer. So we're going to flash the phone number up on the screen, which I believe is 323-993-8088. Feel free to call right now. We got people in the control room that can talk to you, but I'm going to put the first sentence on the board, and we will begin. But first, let me erase the theme. So don't forget, the theme is desperation. I'll probably say it again before the show is over. And as a theme, you kind of, the whole point of the theme is to kind of give our story a foundation, something to kind of hone in where the story is going. So the first sentence for our story is, there was no way Alice was going to be able to make rent. Okay, that's not a bad first sentence. And it's kind of already, you're kind of sensing the theme of desperation. Apparently Alice is out of money. But that is up for you to decide. So why don't you start calling right now. Once again, the phone number is 323-993-8088. I believe that's it. I don't currently see myself on the monitor, so if I forget or we give you the wrong number, it's okay. It's on the screen. It's right here, so forget about what I say. Okay, so let's look at this sentence. There was no way Alice was going to be able to make rent. Have you ever had a situation where you weren't going to be able to make rent? Because in college I had that problem, you know, I had to take up an extra job. Oh, you know what? I'm going to stop talking. I believe we have a caller. Caller!
Yeah.
Hello, what's your name, caller?
My name's George.
George, very nice to meet you. Thank you for calling. What do you think of the first sentence so far?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
I got to add to it.
Okay, let's add to it.
So she drank a bottle of rum and went to confession.
So she drank a bottle of rum and went to confession. Let me write that down. Bottle of rum and went to confession. That's excellent. Well, I'm sorry. What was your name again?
George.
George. That's right. George, I don't always have a great memory, and I apologize if I keep asking you. But that's excellent, George, because what you've done is, well, she's a God-fearing woman, perhaps. She could be Catholic.
Yeah.
She might have a problem with alcohol, or maybe just this one time. What do you think? Do you think this is a habit that Alice might have?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know Alice.
You don't know? Okay, you don't know Alice. Well, that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and meet Alice. So, George, thanks so much. Keep watching. If you feel like we're hitting a lull at some point, feel free to call back and contribute another sentence. But I'm sure those phones are blowing up, so you might have to get back in line. Okay? Thanks again, George.
Good day.
Oh, man, this is great. We got our second sentence right off the bat. All right, so she drank a bottle of rum and went to confession. Now, that might solve the problem temporarily, but, eventually she's going to have to pay the landlord some money, and what's going to happen then? But we're not even, that's beside the point. We have started our journey, and right now, she's in a confessional, and I wonder what that advice might be. The priest could tell her to sober up, maybe look at her finances and find a way where she can make enough money to make rent. Maybe this is just the first offense. Maybe the landlord isn't really worried about it yet, or maybe this has been the 12th time that she's been late. A whole year she's been late, and she might be getting an eviction notice soon. So let's hopefully that's not the case. But you know what? If that's the case, it's a tragedy, and so many stories are tragic and just heart-wrenching. And if that's where this story goes today, then you know what? That's perfect. So. Do you have any callers yet? No? Okay, that's okay. Other things to think about while you're at home. First of all, George just called, so that's really great. But I was always worried that sometimes you might be watching at home thinking that this isn't actually live and that this is a pre-recorded show to be aired at a later date. And I just want you to know that is not the case. Today is November 22nd, I believe. And we're somewhere around the 2:10. So if you look at your calendar and you look at your clock and those match up, then you're watching a live program and you and I are sharing a moment in the Hollywood, Los Angeles area. So we got really nice people in the control room that are going to help you. And if you don't even know where your sentence is going to be, that's okay. Give us a call anyway. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to take you by the hand and walk you up to the board, and then I will write the sentence on the board. And you've contributed to an awesome little exercise today. And I know that's not what you thought you were going to be doing when you woke up this morning, writing some short stories, some literature. But you know what? Let's spice it up. Why don't you call? The number is 323-993-8088. Okay? Got some really nice people in the control room. There's no reason to be nervous. And you know what I was thinking? If you're even the least bit concerned about being embarrassed, but you're still tempted to call, why don't you call, have that phone ring, they'll answer StoryBoard, just hang up on them. Hang up on them. You can take a deep breath, call us back when you're ready. You know what? I think someone took my advice because we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi, caller. What's your name?
Robert.
Robin?
Robert.
Robert. Sorry, Robert. Excellent. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Robert, where do you see this story going?
Well, I was thinking the priest talked her out of prostitution.
The priest talked about a proposition?
Talked her out of prostitution.
The priest talked her out of prostitution, I believe is what you said, right?
Yes.
That's excellent. Things could have gotten really messy if you hadn't.
It says to make the rent.
Where are you calling from today, Robert?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, California. That's excellent. Do you think Alice really would have turned to prostitution at this point? She might be. She might have.
Depends on what she's confessing to the priest.
That's true. I wonder why Alice would be at a confessional confessing that she can't make the rent. I mean, that's not really a sin, right?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? I don't think it is.